hot about this. I don't even notice.
Well,
Great.
awesome. Well, good evening, everybody. Like I said, my name is Howard Olson, and here with my co-host, Marilyn Lahr. Marilyn will be my co-host for the evening. We got a great call lined up for you. And, those of you who got the email yesterday or had it circulating around, it really is kind of our objective as we move into 2017 to do a team-focused call once a week, where we can, not motivate you. Listen, I can't even motivate myself, let alone try to motivate you. But what if we could give you some inspiration and some tools, and with the inspiration, you try those tools, and when those tools work, you can actually create your own motivation. So that's really kind of the goal here. Well, every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West. 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and you can calculate your own time zone from there. We'll be doing this call to bring you corporate updates, team announcements, some motivation, some inspiration, some training, some tools. And the purpose of tonight's call really is just to get us focused together, set the expectations for the year, and kind of outline what our schedule is going to look like. And I'll start off by kind of saying this. I look back to November of 2016. And I just remember kind of thinking to myself, I love the vision of what we're doing here at Karatbars. I love this whole mission of getting people out of the system of debt and into a system of financial wholeness. I love this whole idea of helping people get financially free using gold as a vehicle, which will do two things for them. Not only help them accelerate their wealth, but preserve that wealth as they go. And I love this mission. And this is really the reason why I rolled up my sleeves and came on board with this almost 3 years ago now. And I remember thinking to myself back in November, just a few months ago, thinking, somewhere I don't know how to articulate it. And even though we're still in the gold business and this is a gold company, I think somehow, for me anyway, I think we're focusing a lot on these packages and maybe not so much on the gold as we should be. And I just felt people within my own team saying to me that they felt pressure to buy these large size packages for which they were going to need to put themselves into debt. And I said, there it is. That's exactly the struggle or the angst that I'm feeling here, is that we're contradicting our own message a little bit. And so I just kind of kept that thought to myself for a while. I didn't really say too much. I was kind of scratching my head, wondering if I was right, if I was wrong. And then I had a conversation with Helene Walters one afternoon, and she said, and I kind of expressed what I was feeling. She said, well, I'm thinking the same thing. And I was talking to Greg Gary, and he's kind of saying the same stuff. And I just got off the phone with Marilyn Lahr, and she's kind of saying the same things, and it's all, and she's really even taking it a step further, wants to just get back to basics. I think what we realized was that independently of each other, even though we weren't even necessarily talking to each other, we were having the same kind of epiphanies, the same mindset. We really just got to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the gold savings. And so we started a series of dialogues, just a group of, and listen, when I use the word leaders, I mean, sometimes you say, who are the leaders? And, so am I a leader? Is Marilyn a leader? Listen, I guess we're just the ones that just happen to be a little bit more vocal. And so that's what makes us a leader. But listen, we're all in this boat together. We're all getting financially free. We're all, helping one another grow our mutual respective business. And so we started doing a series of conference calls. Marilyn and Bob Biss and Brian Olenek and me and Howard and Greg Gary and Helene Walters and a gentleman named Patrick Spearing, who's absolutely brilliant with numbers. And we started talking about, well, how do we, listen, we're all cross-lined to each other, but I think, what if we could come together, combine forces so that we can just kind of expand and grow and mutually benefit one another's organizations? And that's kind of what brings us here tonight. And so Marilyn, really, I think at the time that we first started talking, she really, I think, probably had the most developed thoughts around this. And so all we want to do tonight, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to this core leadership team that's come together under this thing that we're calling the Gold Savers System. All right, you're gonna meet all of us. Now, there's a couple that can't be with us tonight because they got some family issues going on, but you're gonna meet the majority of us. And then we're just gonna take you through a rundown of what the year is gonna look like, what the purpose of these calls is gonna be, kind of articulate our vision, and then maybe do a little bit of Q&A at the end of that. So Marilyn, I'm just gonna hand this over to you. I hope I framed it up nicely for you, and take it away, will you?
You're doing great, Howard. Your enthusiasm is so contagious. But, I'm so glad to be with all of you here tonight, and especially with this group of leaders. A couple of them, as Howard said, can't be with us tonight, but we're going to put in a little bit of a message for them anyway. And it's just been a wonderful working together with this team. And I want you to feel a part of that because it's part of something that you're all going to benefit from. But we each bring different gifts to the party. And with our combined effort, we really believe that we can share something with you that is real and is rare. And I'm going to take just the next couple minutes to tell you a little bit of my part of the story. You see, about 2 years ago, I'd only been involved with Karatbars at that time for about 6 months. I knew we had our hands on something really unique, really special with this gold opportunity. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and I knew this was different than anything else that I had an opportunity to be a part of. But I was right away concerned about the stability. What was going to create a stable residual income for me and for the people I brought to the table on a regular basis? And that was just a question that kept going through my mind. And I really also wanted to know a simple way that anybody could do this, because I've always been most successful when I was building a business by bringing everybody along. I have a real heart for what I call the Aunt Marthas. And Aunt Martha to me means anybody who really wants to do this. They don't have to be rich. They don't have to be superstars in business previously. They don't have to have a ton of time, but they just have a sincere desire to do it. So I wanted to know how to make those things come together with Karatbars. And that is something that's very, very important to me, that the ordinary person can become extraordinary by having a simple plan that we could work as well. So after some prayer one night, really, I went to sleep and I woke up in the night with an answer. And it really is an answer that is a lot of the basis of this program that we've been sharing with you and we'll be sharing more about. It certainly has been enhanced and tweaked tremendously by the team all working together. I don't know what we would have done without Patrick just taking the rough charts that I had made and working magic with them. But we all worked together, and I knew I was going to, the reason that I stopped doing this, by the way, 2 years ago, was I had created a video and charts and everything like that, and just gotten them up about 2 or 3 weeks later is when the team, or when the company, just saw that there were way too many videos making wild claims up on YouTube and asked us to take everything down. So I took it down, put it away. Then about 3 months ago, the same questions came to my mind. What can I do to create stability for my income and for the income of anybody that I invited into this business? And so after another night of some prayer and closing my eyes and going to sleep, I was awakened with, I gave you the answer 2 years ago. So I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, pulled together all the information that I had back then, decided I was going to share it with my team, and I ran it past Helene. And she said, Marilyn, there are so many of us out there at the same time thinking the same way you are. You know, let's put this thing together. And so that's what and then Helene brought all of us together on this. And it's come to be what it is. Some of you have seen, and tonight is not our objective to go through the program with you, just to let you know that we will be going through and we will be sharing with you, and we will be here to give you some inspiration and some direction on a real regular basis. Greg will be telling you a little bit about some VGRs that we're going to have available to you too. But that's really was my part in this whole thing, and I'm just very happy to be a part of it. And I want to tell you right from the get-go that we are going to be, you know, inviting you to join us, inviting you to see the true value of gold savings. And there's going to be more by other people that are speaking in just a moment about that. So I just want to say to you right now, hey, tomorrow's the beginning of the first full Karatbars month of the year in 2017. And, you know, are you saving gold? How many people on your team are saving gold? Have you sponsored any new folks to bring on the team to share this program with? So with that, I'm going to sign my part off and say, Howard, I'm sure others have something they'd like to share.
Well, perfect. That was great, Marilyn, and great. So, guys, you get really the sense of kind of where this came from, how we came together, and why we're so optimistic about this, because we really are going to combine forces, and every person on this team, including all of you that are just watching now, we all bring different different gifts, different skills, different talents, and this is really just all about combining those things. What I want to do now is I just want to take a couple of minutes and introduce the key players here that have contributed to putting this together, that will continue contributing to continue to evolve it as we continue to grow and as the evolutions go on. And so Greg, in a little bit, Greg will be talking a little bit about the charts of this whole thing that we call the gold saving system 113. This part right here, Greg, would you mind coming on screen real quick and just kind of giving us a snapshot of what you're so enthusiastic about, what you see here, why you're committed to this, and kind of just give us your heart and your vision for where you want to go in 2017. Up. Do you hear Greg? Your mic's out. If you can hear us, your mic's out. Hang on. Greg Gary, your mic is supposed to be Try unplugging your headset. Try unplugging.
Okay, I just unplugged my headset. Did that help?
That's yes. You're live.
Okay, tremendous. Hey, everybody, Happy New Year to you. Excuse my ghostly face here. I'm in a car somewhere in Richmond, BC, Canada, coming to you live. Good to see you all online. Yeah, you know, this is incredible, the way a whole bunch of cross-line people had the same kind of vision at the same time. You may have heard the name Greg Sukharoff. One morning, he called me up and he said, the most amazing thing happened. I had a guy ready to sign up a huge package. In fact, they came over to my home to do it. It was all processed. And somebody woke him up early in the morning. He looks up when he says that. And he says, I couldn't do it. The guy was going to go into debt to get a package. And Greg was going to get a big fat commission. And he said, I couldn't do it. I called the guy up. And I said, listen, you need to get a lesser package and get yourself on a gold savings program. And when Greg did that, he felt great. And the guy looked at him and said, man, he goes, that's integrity. I know you're going to get a pretty fat commission here. So I'm not against packages. We're not against packages, but we are for saving gold first. And that's the main thing. So is this the time to show some couple charts here, Howard?
Nope. We're going to come back to that.
Okay.
Right great. Now, we're just going to kind of do a little round robin. Each of us kind of share a little bit from our heart where we're at, and then we'll just wind through this.
Okay.
So thanks for that. All right. Thank you, Greg. Awesome. So the next, and obviously most of you will know Greg. He's been very prolific in the videos that he's put out. He knows a lot about the gold market. He's the people's economist. The next guy that I want to bring on, many of you will know him. In fact, many of you on this group, on this call tonight, will be somewhere in his organization, whether you've met him or not. His name is Brian Olenek. He's a former pastor, but he's still probably one of the most supercharged guys I know. He's got tens of thousands of people in his organization, and he's got a heart. He's got just a heart of servitude. And if you haven't met him before, I'm just absolutely pleased that we can do that tonight. Hey, Brian, your microphone is still muted, but if you wouldn't mind just taking a few moments and just sharing from your heart, kind of where you see us going, where you want to personally go, and kind of your vision for 2017.
That's great. Well, I didn't want to have the mic on too long because I got some honky-tonk music going on behind me in Starbucks here. So, I'm so glad to be a part of this here tonight and ongoing. And that's the beauty about this business too. You could be anywhere. And so here I am at a Starbucks. And what I love about this, what we're doing right now, it's not that anything else was wrong. It's just that we're going to something more pure. It's like gold. The purer the gold, the better. 999.9 pure gold is better than 555.5 gold. It's better to have pure, more refined gold. And this is what the system is. It's just a more refined, pure system that's congruent with gold, congruent with the culture, congruent with the mindset of what people think of and are aligned with, that are attracted to gold. So we're really excited about that. We love the leadership, the those who are gathering, just to be able to further reinforce and to bring support in this. It's important that we always have support when we're moving forward. And another thing I like about this is the approach where we're in a marathon here. It's sort of long term. I think of Forrest Gump. I mean, Forrest Gump didn't know exactly where he was going or why he started, but we know why we're doing this. But by the end of his long marathon, he had a whole bunch of people with him. People were joining Forrest Gump because there was a vision. And that's what we have here is a marathon, not to sprint, not to get exhausted. And like I said, there's other programs where you run real hard, you get tired, you burn out, and you got to just take 3 months off so you could get going again. This is a marathon. It's for the long haul, and it's to see how many people we can help arrive there and do well to accumulating gold, getting their gold paid for, and just that long-term vision, which Patrick is going to enhance and showcase tonight. So excited to be about a part of this. Back to you, Howard.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Brian. You know, and as you're talking there, you know, the line from Forrest Gump, which just I think applies to all spheres of our life. Just keep running, Forrest. Just keep running. Just keep running, Forrest. Or for those of you who are fans of some of those cartoon movies, you know, the famous little blue fish, just keep swimming, Dory. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Hey, listen, the next guy that I want to bring on, you know, we've all heard the expression that still waters run deep. And I think that is that's a perfect descriptor for the next guy I want to bring up. His name is Bob Biss. He's been in the personal development space for decades, very well known in those circles, and certainly no stranger here at Karatbars. He's a man of incredible wisdom, incredible integrity, and you know, he was very prolific. He's been very prolific in our training calls, but you know, he's going to be a very active part of our group collaboration here at the Gold Saver System. And so I just want to introduce you to my friend, Bob Biss. I met him through Karatbars, which is the beautiful thing of this business. You get to meet so many incredible people, but through Karatbars, I can honestly say that we've become friends. We've got this deep respect for one another, and the friendship just keeps growing. So, Bob, I'd like to hand it over to you and just share a couple things from your heart, will you?
I absolutely will. Thank you so much, Howard. Everybody hearing me okay?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, look, I appreciate the accolades from Howard. Howard has got my utmost respect, as he does with pretty much anybody who ever meets him. He's a great speaker. He's concise. He's to the point, and he can put words together better than anybody I've ever met. And the end of last year, I got a short video from Howard that it absolutely almost brought tears to my eyes, because he was announcing a project, a vision of 113. And I got to tell you, as soon as he said it, I knew what it was about. And as he went through the explanation, it just made more and more sense. You see, folks, many of you, not all of you, but many of you got started with us in Karatbars back when we had the 12-week plan. And when we had the 12-week plan, we could see a reward at the end of 12 weeks. And then because of compliance issues and so forth, all that had to come down. I don't want to be repetitive and go over what Marilyn said, but she was absolutely so right. We lost the ability to show people what the reward is for the work that they do. Now, albeit $4,500 a week in the 12th week might have been considered by an awful lot of people as a bit too hypey, but hey, the numbers are the numbers, and the numbers never lie. And what that took away from us, as I just said, is being able for the people that we are bringing into the business to see the reward for their effort. So what did that leave them to do? Imagine the reward. And folks, regretfully, most people have a horrible imagination. They have a horrible ability to see what they can accomplish with a certain amount of work. And now we can show it to them. But even better than two who get two, or one that gets one every month, and we duplicate that, three who get three. That'll get us pretty much anything in the compensation plan that we want. Now, when this was first introduced within the Great Synergy Goal Group, because it is within the Synergy Goal group. It's really not outside of the Synergy Goal group. There's many groups out there. Nobody is talking about 113. So it's pretty much unique to us here, and it's spread into the entire Synergy Goal group. When I first saw it, I found out that it was, well, let me just put it this way. What I thought of immediately is what I've heard for the past probably 20 years, and that is the 3 phases of truth. By author Schopenhauer, who is a German. Phase 1, violently or for just basically ridiculed. Phase 2, violently opposed. And phase 3, accepted as being self-evident. Howard, thanks to you and the group for all, through perhaps divine intervention, saying, look, let's just get back to the basics. Let's do a simple 113 explanation, show the reward for an X amount of work over a period of time. I thank you. I thank the group. I'm happy to contribute where I can, because I saw this 113. I never did phase 1 or phase 2. I just think it's 100% self-evident. Thank you, and I appreciate you letting me participate.
Oh, well, we're just grateful that you've come along for this ride, that you have, we're shoulder to shoulder in this thing. So Marilyn and Bobby and Greg and me and all of you out there we're in this together. So thank you for articulating that so beautifully. And that's exactly right. So we're going to talk a little bit more about 113 in just a few moments. A couple more people we want to introduce here. One of the gentlemen, thanks, Bob. One of the gentlemen that was instrumental. Okay, so we're going to talk about this 113, which is really about getting back to the basics. Listen, whatever it is that you focus on is what you're going to get. And when you focus on the gold, when you focus on your savings program, when you focus on your long-term wealth preservation and wealth growth, it happens through the gold program. And so this 113 really is all about mitigating the importance of the package. Of course, you want a package because you're going to want to be in the compensation plan. You're going to want to maximize it. You're going to want the extra income that comes out of the dual system. But if you'll focus yourself on what happens when you commit to gold savings and helping others in your group commit to gold savings, that's really where, listen, we all want residual income. We all want protected wealth. And I'll expound on this a little bit more in just a few moments. But the dual system doesn't give you residual income. The dual, and we're not going to dive in and dissect the compensation plan tonight, but all of you on this call should know something about it. And the dual team system, with the accumulation of units, can certainly give you nice chunks of cash flow. But each time you get a cycle bonus, that's a singular event, never to occur again. The beautiful thing about the unilevel is this is really where the long-term residual lies. And so when we focus ourselves on the gold, on getting ourselves gold at regular intervals, and we teach that to others, we can start to build ourselves residual income. And then the packages in the dual team just kind of takes care of itself. One of the gentlemen who was really instrumental in just crunching the numbers to make them make sense, to make them elegant and self-evident when you see them, is a gentleman named Patrick Spearing. And he's another one of these guys. He is he's profoundly intelligent. He's got incredibly immense influence within his group, but you just don't really see him on. You don't see him on the webinars. Like he'll show up at the PGRs, and he'll show up show up at the live meetings, but you don't really see him around the webinars. Well, you're going to see him more and more around this community here. But he really, in his genius for numbers, crunched them out and has made them beautiful, made them make sense according to where you are in the system. So he can't join us tonight. There's a nasty flu bug going around. Many of us on the West Coast have it. I'm just kind of on the tail end of it. Patrick is kind of down with it tonight. But he's given a couple things over to Marilyn and asked Marilyn to express for him. So Marilyn, I'm just going to hand it back to you, and you can be Patrick's surrogate tonight. Thank you for all you do.
Okay. Thank you. Well, it's certainly been my joy in working with Patrick, because I handed to him I had created a couple years ago, and he took it and worked it into something beautiful. And he asked me to just share with you tonight a few words. I'm going to read what he sent me so that I can share Patrick's words. But I will say this, a little tough on what Howard said. The first thing that I realized when I was awakened in that night was that that we needed to start looking at exactly what Howard's talking about, the unilevel part of it. I wanted to know how long it would take me to get to an income that I wanted with just getting gold savers with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the chart that Greg is sharing with us is about. I didn't even care about the packages at the time. In fact, it was 2 nights I awakened in the night and I heard him tell him the rest of the story. And I said, but I don't want to. I don't even want to tell him about the packages. I want him to recognize by saving gold. Pieces of the story. But here's what Patrick had to say about it. As I developed Marilyn's figures into bronze unilevel charts, that it became clear how brilliant Harold Site's plan designs really are. Anyone can enter at any level, and the opportunity is there for the system to pay for their rights right to the top. It is back to Harold's original inspiration to help ordinary people, anyone, get real gold into their pockets, eliminate their debt, and protect their savings. And I'm excited that we get to implement this simple approach. It's simple, straightforward, and anyone can do it. And Patrick has had a great part in helping us, as Greg will be sharing with you in a few minutes, to show that to you. But yay, go Patrick, and go us as we share this with others and get them saving gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's and it's right, because there's a total, and it really is incredible how almost simultaneously and without any foreknown knowledge of coordination, we were all coming to the same conclusion, and all of these forces conspired to bring us together. So, listen, I know I don't mince my words. People know where I come from. I believe in God, and I think that He's orchestrated this, put us together, and I just think this is ordained. And as long as we stick to this plan, I think we can't lose. And that's why I'm so reinvigorated by this, because we are back to holistic truth. I want to talk about this 113 for just a couple minutes. I'm going to bring back Greg to kind of show us the numbers here, because that was exactly where I was at in November and December. And listen, if I'm nothing, I'm transparent. And I was, and the guys on this leadership call that we were having on this ongoing basis, they could just see that I was in a lot of angst over this. I was really questioning whether I was going to continue with this or not, because for me, this was always about the gold. It was always about gold savings. And I came to the conclusion that if the only way I could earn an income was by selling a package, I didn't want to do this business anymore, because the reason I came into this business was not selling packages. It was moving gold and getting people financially whole. Now, not that I have a problem with packages. I mean, packages are great. I think packages, whether it's the VIP or the gold or the silver, wherever you come in at, I think it's an important thing, because the minute you own a business and you had to put down some money for that business, you now have a vested interest and a commitment to that business. So I'm not anti-package. But I think what I began to recognize was that whether we intended to do it or not, we really began modeling, hey, listen, if you get the VIP package, your guys will get a VIP package. And it became that. And then the dual team system, in the way that units accumulate and generate and can really put out powerful bonuses as these cycles begin to spin off, it's very easy to get focused on that. And I just began to feel that there was a contradiction in the whole thing. Wait a minute. Listen, I personally have brought 65 people into the organization now. I can sell a package. I can sell the vision. I can sell all of that. But I came to the conclusion that I didn't want to just have to continue recruiting, not because I'm not capable of it or even comfortable with it, but because I really just wanted to work with the people who wanted to get themselves financially whole. And there was this implied pressure on selling the package, and somewhere we lost the forest for the trees, and we lost the goal for the cycle bonus. We lost the gold in all of that. And I thought, there's got to be we must go back to the gold savings, because this is really where you get people off the system of debt. And if people will regularly save, you can generate consistent residual income. And at the end of the day, I would hazard to guess that every single person on this call tonight wants residual income, because residual income is where the freedom lies. One-time shots of cycle bonuses is not where your freedom lies. It's the residual income that will continue to flow. And when you can use a system to increase your income so that you can continue to save. Now you've got yourself a self-perpetuating gold savings machine with the income from which you can live. And we began talking about all of this. And so tonight, I want you to, you're great. When I do my training programs, I love doing repetition because it helps you to remember. So I want you to repeat after me. Repeat it, just sitting wherever you are. If you're in your car or in your Starbucks or in your home office or sitting in your living room on a computer or a tablet, just repeat after me. 1, 1, 3. Come on, you can do it. 1, 1, 3. 1, 1, 3. 1, 1, 3. I love the alliteration of that. And what does that really mean? Here's what it means. It means to be successful in this Karatbars business, what do you need to do? Well, you need to get one package one time. Okay, it's a one-time expense that brings you into the affiliate model. And honestly, where we're coming from now, we try to discourage the bronze packages, but whether it's a silver or a gold or in fact, we might even encourage you to just go for the silver. Start with a package, get yourself into the affiliate network. So one package, one time. The second one, 1 gram at a regular interval. Now, some of us can do a gram a week. Some of us, that's a stretch because we haven't built our business yet. But can we do a gram a month? 1 gram at one precise, regularly scheduled interval on an ongoing basis. Because if you'll save, they'll save, and your wealth is increasing. So 1, 1, 3, one package, one time, 1 gram on a regularly occurring interval, whether it's once a week or once a month, okay? 3, and find 3 others. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to talk to 3 people. You might have to talk to 3, but let's find 3 other people who want to get themselves out of debt, who want to preserve their wealth, who want residual income, and want to increase their gold holdings. If we can find 3 people to do that, you can maximize this compensation plan because, if you go back and if you look, now we're not going to go through the levels and all the rest of that tonight, the entire compensation plan, if you've got 3 lines that are active in this business, you can take the comp plan all the way to the top and all done through the level, which is back-end residual income, which is the thing that we want. And so as we began to explore this and expound upon it, I thought this is exactly where it's at. And this is what we're so excited about. Listen, here's what I want you to think about. If we will focus on our own personal gold savings and then help others that we've brought to this because they bought into the same idea, all right, because they subscribe to the same idea. We pay attention to our own personal gold savings, and then we help those that we introduce this to really focus on their personal gold savings. You will begin to accumulate a mass of people that are saving gold, and we do not make any income projections here, not like that, but you can run the numbers yourself. And if you will do that, every gram of gold produces a unit, and every new person that comes to Karatbars will get a package of some sort. Units will accumulate. If you will focus on saving gold, you will build residual income. And as you focus on saving gold, the dual team will take care of itself. And that's where you're going to get bonuses. So when I look at the dual system, I don't look at that as income anymore. I look at that as a really nice bonus for growing my business. And every time a cycle hits, that's a bonus. The income is from the unilevel, the bonus is from the dual team, and as long as we take a long-term view at this, really commit 3 months of consistent gold savings and introducing this to others, you will lay the foundation for a magnificent business, a secure financial future, and that's how this works. I think we had it wrong. We put the cart before the horse. We need to put the horse before the cart. The horse is the gold savings. So with that, I want to introduce Greg Geary. I want to bring him back on screen. He's got a couple of charts, and he's just going to show us the potential here, really, even at just a low-level start inside this business, what is possible to do here. So Greg, over to you, man.
Okay, I'm just trying to get my, are you seeing that screen?
We see it. It's clear, it's crisp, and it's almost full.
That's a miracle. Okay, well, here we are. Well, again, I want to really acknowledge Patrick Spearing. He has put hundreds of hours into these spreadsheets, and they are available for your use, for your perusal. He'll go into it deeper at another time for you via a video. And as well, we're going to be doing PGRs on Thursday. And we're not going to explain the whole thing, how it's derived, but we'll go into a little bit of detail for you. So Patrick, again, thanks for all your work. And Marilyn, thanks for the inspiration in this. Just tremendous. So we're just going to show you, this is the simply the unilevel. One person gets 3 and everybody's saving only 1 gram of gold a month. Okay. Now look, when you look at this chart in the first 3-4 months, you're thinking, hey, big deal. Not a lot of cash coming in here, but you've all seen that penny doubled example, because where the action really happens is at the end. Isn't that right? It's at the end. So when you look down to, now we're getting into month 5. Remember when we talk about subsidized gold and then free gold? Well, now you're into that area of the subsidized gold and the free gold. And then you move into month 6. Now we're up to 5 grams. Now, some of you are thinking, 5 grams, big deal. You know what? Every gram of gold you get is a big deal and is going to be a big deal. I'm reminded of the story of Fran Christie, who's on our team, and her family bought the 1967 gold set, back in 1967. And decades later, her family needed some money. And those gold sets really came in handy. That gold had really, in a cash value, had really gone up. So we believe that the ounce of yesterday is going to be the gram of today, that in terms of value, in terms of usefulness in the future. So I remember the first time I bought 1 gram of gold online, I felt good. I said, nobody is going to take that cash. Nobody's going to steal that cash from me again through inflation. Why? Because I've locked it into a gram of gold. So we look down at month 6, we've got 5 grams of gold. Month 7, 16 grams of gold. And month 8, almost 50 grams of gold. I'm also reminded of the research that Greg Sukroff did. And he went back and looked at the Germany case at the end of World War I. And 4 grams of gold, that's right, 4 grams of gold bought a very small house in Germany. Now, is that going to happen in these times? I don't think quite in the same way, but it just reminds us the value of this gram gold. So that's something we want to be excited about. By the way, in this particular chart, along the way, and this we started at just saving 1 gram of gold, but in the next chart, I'm going to show you something called the bronze package, which you all know. Okay, so as Howard mentioned, it's 113 for you and me, 113 gram of gold, 1 package, 3 people. Now, some people look at the size of the team you need to get some significant earning happening, and you're thinking, how could I possibly get 7, 8, 9,000 people on my team? Listen, this is the contention of this team. The model of just saving gold is so powerful. There's nothing like this on the planet. And if we truly care about those 3 people and we help those 3 get 3, I tell you, it's not going to be a problem. If you are genuine, if you are sincere, if you're truly caring about the gold saving and then helping them get their 3, we're not going to see a problem with those numbers. But this isn't a training program today, so I won't go too deep on that. But just keep that in mind. All right, well, what is this chart? This is a summary of another one of Patrick's charts. This is people continuing to save only 1 gram of gold per month, and you're a bronze package getting a bronze package. Now look, of course, things are going to happen faster. What are the packages for? Again, we focus on the gold saving. The packages are to accelerate the ability to get your gold subsidized and then paid for. That's what the packages are for. Obviously, the higher the package you get, the quicker that subsidy and the quicker that free gold's going to come. And then with your other income, you're going to be able to use that cash for your lifestyle, or you can simply buy more gold. Well, things happen faster. Here's month 4. We're at almost 2 grams of gold already. But let's go right down to month 7. 89 grams of gold. Man, that is a lot of gold. Let's go down to month 8. Okay, just month 8. You're almost at 500 grams of gold. And Patrick's included the totals here, 600 grams of gold for this run of 8 months if we do this right. Now, some people like to think in ounces. So look over on the right. We've got a total of almost 20 ounces of gold. 20 ounces of gold, folks, is a lot of gold. And with what we strongly believe is coming, it's gonna hold a lot of value. So that's just the quick summary of what these charts look like. We'll go into it in a little more detail in the private gold receptions. Please know that when you bring guests to these private gold receptions, they're going to get a nice, clean, clear, simple explanation of how these charts work. And that is it, Howard Olson. Thank you for your leadership on this call.
Unmute the camera. There we go. Well, thanks, Greg, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you guys. So this is clearly this is a group effort. Okay, so I just have the privilege of facilitating and hosting tonight, but this is a great, just an incredible group effort. And I'm watching the chat room here, and I think I'm looking at the enthusiasm that's coming from the people that are here as attendees tonight, watching this, that are just really excited. And I think, just like it's done for us, it's kind of reignited our enthusiasm for what we knew to be the truth that we can move forward on. I see that happening here. I just want to take a couple of seconds here, and I want to talk a little bit about kind of what the format of this call is going to look like. So, you know, we're all part of the Synergy Gold Group. That doesn't change. We're all part of Synergy, but you know, as a group, we've come together and said we really want to focus on the gold savings, because I think that's really where it's at. And so all the emphasis, all the discussion, all the 3-ways, all the training, everything we do with our existing groups and new and the people that you introduce in, it's all going to be about, are you committed to the gold savings? And so we're calling this the gold savings system. So within that, we need to create an infrastructure of tools to support those that want to come along on these rides. So the first thing that we're doing, tonight's call is really just the first introduction call to who we are, where we're going, but this will be our weekly team staff meeting. So we're going to do this call every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, you can just calculate for your own time zone. It's easy enough to do. All right. So this is going to be a regular and consistent call. On any given week, there'll be 2 hosts. And you know, we've got a pretty strong leadership team here, so it'll be 2 of us. And from time to time, we'll be bringing in some guest speakers that can give us some perspective to help us, you know, really understand the business, sharpen our skills, help us be more successful. Our commitment on this call every single week is that it will be relevant, concise, and to the point. And for those of you that saw the video I put out yesterday, you know, on some weeks, if we need to do some company announcements and things like that, this team huddle call really is you're welcome to bring prospects to it. It's not necessarily a prospecting tool. Okay, this is our tool. This is a family chat. This is, you know, like if you work for a company, you usually have a staff meeting. So this is our staff meeting. Okay, this is where we get the updates from corporate or insights that we may have heard through the grapevine. So it's going to be about all of that. That there'll usually be a little bit of inspiration, some tips, maybe some strategy thrown into that thing. But our commitment to you is that this will always be a concise, precise, and relevant call. What do I mean by that? Well, if we got a lot of stuff to take care of and we need 40 minutes to get through it all, it'll be a 40-minute call. You know, if 15 minutes pretty much does everything we need to do, it'll be a 15-minute call. The bottom line is we're never going to go, this is not going to be a run-on call. It will always be just as long as it needs to be, no more and nor less. So I hope you're happy about all of that. This is where we're going to go with this whole thing. So this is our team call. You can mark your calendars every Tuesday night. You're welcome to bring guests, but for guests, it's probably not going to be relevant because we're not doing VGRs and we're not doing product presentation here. That's not what this is about. This is about tooling you up to be far more successful. Okay, that's what that's all about. Secondly, we are going to reintroduce a weekly VGR webinar. Okay, and we're going to do that every Thursday night. Same channel, so you can use the same link you used tonight to come to our weekly Thursday night VGRs. Now That is a place to invite your guests, and you're going to want to invite guests. You know, Greg does a great job. I do a great job. We got lots of great presenters inside this company, and so we're gonna commit to firing that mechanism back up again. We're gonna share the responsibilities amongst us, but we guarantee you that you will always get a great presentation that you'll be proud and happy to have sent your guests to. So that's our commitment to you there. We're also in the process of building a couple of new web presences. So we have a new website coming up called the Gold Savers System. And this is where you're going to find the charts and training and all these other sorts of things. And if you're looking for tools with which to introduce guests, introduction material, you know, many of you will be familiar with Save Cash and Gold. That website will stay up. I've got a couple new videos coming out. They're not ready yet, but you know, the videos, honestly, I'll tell you the truth, guys. In the last week, I've sponsored 3 new people, and it's all from watching Save Cash and Gold. So that stuff still works as long as we back it with the right training and the right messaging. This is about the gold. This is about the gold. So you're going to get some new websites. We're going to have some new getting started guides. Nothing is going to conflict with the stuff that already get out there, but we're just going to fine tune it and hone it in so that the focus really is on the gold. Because when you focus on the gold is what you get. All right. So I think that's pretty much what we've got for you tonight. Marilyn and I would like to, I think what we'd like to do now is just kind of open up the lines. We're not going to open up the microphones, but most of you have discovered the chat room, and we want to just open this thing up for Q&A. So I'm going to invite the other panelists to turn their cameras back on. And you guys out there, if you've got a question, it just gets a little hairy there. You know, there's 80 of us in here right now. If we turn on 80 microphones, it's going to be a cacophony of noise. So if you've got a question or a comment that you want to make, go ahead and put it into the chat line, and we'll moderate it here. And if there's questions, we'll just figure out who amongst us is the best to take it on. Okay, how's that? So I'm going to turn it over to you, audience. All you in attendee mode, type away and let us know what you're thinking. Whether it's good, bad, or indefinite, if it's a question or a comment, nothing's off limits here. And we invite you to just kind of let us know where you're coming from. It'll come. There's usually a little lag time. A lot of people are typing right now, so just give it a second. Anyway, while we're waiting for questions and those sorts of things to come in, I just want to thank my panelists here. I want to thank my friends, my business partners, my pals, my confidants, and yeah, we've had some really open, transparent, honest conversations with each other the last couple of months, and I'm grateful to all of you for that. Marilyn Lahr, you have just got the purest heart that I think I've ever met. Bob Biss, you have got this profound wisdom that runs deep and still. Greg Geary, you got a mind and a servant's heart like no other. And Brian Olenek, well, you have all of those things, and you've just got this incredible zip that goes on top of it. So I'm just grateful and to be able to work alongside all of you. I see a couple of things coming in now. I'll start reading down the panel here. See what it is. No questions at this time. Just my thanks for sharing it. Well, that's from Leslie. You're welcome. Rennie Ferguson, great to see you again. Well, great to see you too. Kara from Karakokal, many of you know her. I've been wanting a great video to share that focuses more on gold savings and not as much on the business. Will there be one made available? Yes, all of it is coming. Okay, so the tools that we have currently work, but more is on the way. And all of our languaging patterns, all of our 3 ways, everything we do will support gold savings. Okay, that you can be assured of. My good friend Doris Ptolemy here says, oh, great call, no question.
There is some questions above there. Mac Redentity asked a question. Can we get the PGR slides, including the charts?
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, some people are using the Q&A panel. Yeah, there's 2 things going on here. There's Q&A and there's a chat panel. We've been watching them. So Mac asks, can we get the slides, the PGR, including the charts? Who wants to take that one?
Yeah, I'll take that. The good news is the bronze to bronze chart has been approved from corporate. As you know, people get overzealous in these kinds of entities, and when we go beyond that, then we're doing something called enticement. So we're going to keep it real simple, bronze to bronze, let people's imagination take care of the rest. So yes, they will be available. You can get hard copies or take pictures of what we do in the webinar. Does that answer your question, Mac?
So let me just jump on that with you there for a minute, Greg, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, listen, we take it here at Karatbars amongst affiliates and corporately, we take compliance extremely seriously, because the fact that we're dealing with gold and all these other sorts of things, we're looked at very closely, we're scrutinized. And we are a squeaky clean company, and we want to keep it that way. So these charts, bronze to bronze is gold. So pure gold savings and bronze, finding bronze, those charts have been run through compliance, and compliance has said you can use them. You can use them publicly. They're not income guarantees. So we're going to be there's a whole plethora of slides available, but they're not going to be made publicly available because you got to be really careful with them, okay? So we're not going to do anything to compromise compliance or give people any kind of license where they can go out there and make outlandish claims. Not even if it's not done with intent. Sometimes these things just happen by accident, and we want to really protect this. So that's really where this is coming from.
Yeah, and Howard, we will ask everybody to use the charts that Patrick created. Why? Because they've got words on there that are explicit about how and how not to use the charts, and he's done an amazing job of that. Hey, everybody on this call, let's all of us be leaders in the days to come. This is our golden goose. Let's all protect it. And each person you sign up, you're going to want to say the same thing to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, can I say something here, Hellas?
Of course.
There's another reason for us keeping the charts just as basic as they are and going only to the 8th month. We don't need to wow people beyond that point. All you do when you get up into too high figures is you make it unbelievable to people. And this is, as we keep it simple, again, as Greg has just said, use your imagination. If you want to go faster, compress your time. You don't have to do it a month's period to get your 3 people. You can do a week's period to get your 3 people. In a month, you can get your 3 people and get their 3 people. You don't have to be limited to 1 gram of gold a month. You can get 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
You can compress that as you want to. You don't have to sponsor just 3 people, though I'm sure telling my team, I don't want them to sponsor more than 3 new people until they've taken those 3 people to helping them get their 3 people and their 3 people. Then if you think you can handle more, go over and do it. But you don't need to do that. We don't need to get outlandish with this, and we don't need to complicate it.
Yeah.
And the more simple we keep it, the more we speak to 100% of the people instead of only the top 3 or 5% as leaders.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, I've been in some form of this kind of marketing for 40 years, and your strength is in doing something that anybody can do, not just appealing to the top 3 to 5%. So they're kept simple, and they're kept down both to be compliant and also to not. It's much better to undersell than to oversell. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
It's brilliant. So I'll add something on that too, because we don't want you sponsoring really wide. Listen, sponsor as many as you can, but focus on the first 3 first. And we say find your 3 and then help them find their 3. Here's what we're saying. Okay, it's critical that you get this. In the training modules you're going to get in the days ahead, find your first person who subscribes to getting financially whole and accumulating gold, and then get them on the gold auto savings, and then help them find their 3. You've got that person started. Now, let's go find another person who subscribes to getting themselves financially whole, gets themselves on a regular, consistent gold savings, and then help them find their 3 to do exactly the same thing. And then go find a third person and get them to subscribe to gold savings. So this is not what we're talking about here is a focused and determined approach here. We're not talking about taking out the shotgun and just recruiting 3, 5, 10 people. Help these people be successful. And the ones we want to work with are the ones who want to accumulate gold and protect wealth. Because if you're working with them, they'll do it, and they'll also perpetuate the message. And then this thing, can you imagine thousands of voices all coming in unity? Save gold, show others. That's what it's always been about. But what we're talking about now is not just saying it's what it's about, demonstrating what it's about, behaving that it's what it's about, and then everything we do is consistent with everything. Nothing is out of alignment, and that's really what the focus of the gold saving system is. So, you know, if you only find one person your first month, congratulations, it's enough. Help that one person save gold and help that one person find their first person. And then help them find their second. And then help them find their third. And together we'll do this and we'll start to move a lot of gold and our back end residual will start to take care of itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think that's all we have for questions. I think you've got a pretty good outline of where this is. Michelle Porter just asked one question. What websites were we talking about? Okay, so Thursday nights, yes, first webinar will be, Greg, did we say first webinar this Thursday? Yes. First webinar this Thursday, mygoldwebinar.com, mygoldwebinar.com, mygoldwebinar.com. Same link you used to come here, okay? Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Calculate your own time zone. This call will be an ongoing feature every Tuesday night. For quick introduction video, if you just want to do something quick and get people the overview, save cash and gold. You can send people there safely. It's completely neutral. And as new videos become available, they'll be loaded there, so you don't have to worry. When is it up? When's it not up? It'll just, when they're ready, they'll go in there. And in the days ahead, so I'm not even going to confuse you with a new website because there's another website coming. We're going to accumulate all the training. We're going to keep the prospecting materials separate from the training materials, and we do it with great intention because you have to look through the eyes of a brand new person. If you give them too much, if everything is on one website, you say, go watch this great little 7-minute video or 10-minute video or whatever it is, and they watch and, well, that was interesting, and they click on another link on the same site and they start going down the training path, they'll train themselves into doing nothing before you even get a chance to launch them. So focus on prospecting, getting them started, doing the 3-way, all that kind of stuff so we can start them right. And then once they're fully formed as an affiliate, we can take them over to the training resources, because then they're ready for it. So that's how this is going to go. This is probably the longest call you're going to get, because we really wanted to just lay down the groundwork for it. But on the weeks ahead, we promise you it'll be short and concise and to the point. I don't think we minced a lot of words here. I think everybody's happy with what happened. I know I certainly am. And to my panelists, Marilyn Lahr, Bob Biss, Brian Olenek, Greg Geary, Helene Walters on her behalf, and Patrick Spearing, we just say God bless you guys. This is God's money. And we are so excited to be rolling up our sleeves, to be re-embarking on this journey with all of you. I think that's it for me. Olson, out.
One last thing, Howard.
Sure.
Just a call to action for everybody. Number 1, are you on an auto save program? Number 2, have you gone back out to your team to ask the same question? Are they on an auto-save gold program? And number 3, how many people can you invite to bring on the call on the VGR on Thursday? You're going to love it. We're going to have a great time on Thursday. Okay, Howard, I'm out.
Right. Awesome. Marilyn, any final thoughts?
I think you got it covered.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Thank you to all of you who joined us tonight and hung in there with us for this call. Thank you again to all of you who participated to contribute to what we did here this evening. I thank you. I'm grateful for you. Together, we're going to go move mountains and go save a lot of souls, all right? So I'm really excited about all of this. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you Thursday night at the VGR and next Tuesday night for our team staff meeting. Ciao.